We're here in snowy Hope, British Columbia to tell you about some changes and upgrades we made to our Honda Pilot to make it a more comfortable microcamper. We're back in the Pacific Northwest after traveling abroad for 4 months, and we're ready to camp again in the Pilot.
We've already done a few videos about our microcamper and some of the bigger projects we've done to improve the space.
This video is about some of the more detailed changes we've made that might not be super obvious in other videos, but make our road trips a lot more comfortable. So here are some of the changes we've made to our Honda Pilot Microcamper. Change number 1, turning off the interior lights.
Most vehicles, including our Honda Pilot, have the interior lights go on and off by default when you open and close the doors.
This is great when we're out running errands and using the vehicle for regular driving. But when we're parked at camp for a few days, we end up opening and closing the doors a lot, causing the lights to go on and off and using up the battery when we don't really need it to. So when we're at camp, we change the settings on the Pilot to not turn on the interior lights by default.
So instead, we use these LED light strings and a battery pack to light up the interior of the car.
Change number 2, adding rain guards. If you watched our previous videos on our window covers, you know we use these custom-made window screens for ventilation and privacy when we're parked at camp. And if it's raining or snowing, we still want to be able to keep the windows down without having the rain fall on our bed or in our living room. So we added these rain guards to help with that. Change number 3, using the undertrunk for storage space. But first, let me explain what the undertrunk is. The undertrunk is what Chris and I named the part of our trunk that is hidden by the latched panel from the rest of the trunk. This part of the trunk isn't easily accessible as we have our microcamper kitchen fully set up on top of it, but it's a great spot to keep emergency supplies that we don't use very often. We keep extra first aid supplies, tools we don't need a lot, emergency car repair items, and extra food under there. The extra food comes in super handy when we're at a remote camp spot many miles up a logging road, and we decide that we want to stay for a few extra days. Then we can dig into some of the extra food and stay at camp a little longer. We love the undertrunk storage for storing backup supplies without cluttering the rest of our tiny camper. Change number 4, keeping an emergency battery charger on hand.
One thing we don't keep in the undertrunk is our emergency battery car starter.
Because it might not be possible to open the trunk if the car battery is dead. And if we can't open the trunk door, then we can't get to the undertrunk as the hatch blocks the opening. So we don't want to be storing our battery charger in a place we can't get to if the battery is dead. Change number 5, installing a dash cam. Our version of the Pilot didn't come with a dash cam by default. We wanted a camera that would capture things that we might miss capturing otherwise when we're on a road trip, like a bear walking across our path or a funny road sign. So we picked up this dash cam and love looking at some of the footage we've captured during our trips. So those are a few of the more detailed changes we've made to our Honda Pilot Microcamper to make our lives easier when we're on the road. We'll probably remember a bunch more things we've done after we post this video. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get updates on our microcamper as we remember more stuff and to keep up with the adventure.